Hello everybody, how are you doing? I'm doing an illustrative video once more about the word. It's very helpful when I do these because sometimes the parts that I don't understand, I can see the picture and kind of mark it out later when I understand what it's about. Okay, so I'm in Psalm 7. The illustration is of verse 14 to 16, but I want to read to you maybe the introduction of the chapter and then read to you the ending of the chapter to keep the video kind of more in good terms, okay? So, O Adonai, my Erevat, in you I put my trust. Save me from all those who persecute me and deliver me, okay? So he's asking for deliverance because his enemies are trying to go after him to cause him trouble, okay? So then in verse 9, what does, this is a meditation of King David, okay? Okay, so in verse 9 he says, "Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just. For the righteousness of Erevat tests the hearts and the minds." So when he's testing the hearts and the minds, he's testing your wisdom and your understanding. So your wisdom is when your mind is being tested to figure out how much wisdom do you have. And when he's testing your heart, he's checking to see how much understanding you have. Okay, so what does David say? He says, "My defense is of Erevat, who saves the upright in heart." Okay, so he's really checking your understanding, okay, to see whether or not whether your heart is pure on the side of righteousness, okay? Let me continue to read. Verse 11. "Erevat is a just judge, and Erevat is angry with the wicked every day. If he does not turn back," so if you don't repent, "he will sharpen his sword," okay? So I have multiple illustrations to deal with today. I'm doing one right now. So, so say for instance, if you're on the pathway of wickedness, eventually when you get judged, the Creator may sharpen his sword, bend his bow, and prepare himself to deal with you if you don't turn away from your wickedness, okay? So an example, so say for instance, Psalm 10 does describe to you what a wicked man is. And actually, I didn't get to that part. I wonder if I should, let me tell you that part really quickly, okay? So let me go to Psalm 10. So Psalm 10. "Why do you stand afar off, O Adonai? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride persecutes the poor." And it says, "Let them be caught in the plots in which they have devised." So I'm going to show that in the illustration too. Okay, so who are the wicked? They boast of their own heart's desire. They bless the greedy and or renounce Adonai. In their pride, they don't seek the Creator. Because some people in their own minds, they're their own creator. For some people, they just don't believe in a creator at all, okay? So that's a little bit of an introduction of who the wicked are. I may not go through the rest of this here. At verse 14 of Psalm 10, it says, "But you have seen it, for you observe trouble and grief, and repay it by your hand. The helpless commits himself to you. You are a helper of the fatherless." And so here is more demonstrations, but I'm not drawing this out. It's like a judgment against the wicked person here. So I'm going to go back to Psalm 7 to show you the illustration, okay? I was just giving you an introduction of who the wicked are, okay? So in verse 14 it says, "Behold, the wicked travails with iniquity," okay? "Conceives trouble and brings forth falsehood. He made a pit and dug it out and has fallen into the ditch which he has made," which Psalm 10 kind of said the same thing. How let them be caught in the plots which they have devised, okay? So let me see. "His trouble shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealings shall come down on his own crown." And then verse 17 says, "I will praise the Adonai according to his righteousness. I will sing praise to the name of the Adonai Most High," okay? So so like I said, I'm not the best artist, okay? So my pictures can be kind of funny, okay? So, let's see if you can see clearly. Okay, so I didn't know whether the wicked person was a girl or a boy, okay? So that's the picture here. It's a little funny until I describe it to you, okay? So there's a masculine here in a pit, and there's a feminine here. So I don't know whether your situation is pertaining to a female or a male, okay? So the fun part, it's not fun, but when I read the scripture, I thought it was kind of funny, and I needed to see a picture, okay? Because if you read it, it doesn't make sense. So I'm going to hold the Bible in one hand and show you the picture with the other, okay? So behold, the wicked travails with iniquity. So when a woman is travailing in pain to give birth, a lot of times it's like you already are pregnant. So you see the little belly bump there? You're already pregnant, and so because you're pregnant, that's how you get the baby out when you travail, because that's how the birth canal opens up for the baby to come out. So travailing with iniquity is something like, so in order for the baby to come out, travailing with iniquity means it's like they because wicked people, they don't sleep. They constantly work iniquity day and night. So that's what's pushing the baby out. But let me tell you what the baby is, okay? So it says, behold, the wicked travails with iniquity, conceives trouble. So what is the woman carrying? Okay, because I had to draw a woman because it's about a pregnancy. So they conceive trouble, okay? So that's what was conceived. I'm sorry that the camera's not holding properly. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. See? So trouble is what was conceived in the womb, okay? So how can you grow a child called, I won't say a child called, but how can you grow trouble? They're working iniquity to get the trouble out, okay? Now let me tell you more. So they conceive trouble and bring forth falsehood, okay? So I don't know if this, because when you read it, it would not make sense. That's why I had to draw a picture of it. So this is, the wicked person doesn't have to be a woman, but it's describing what's happening to bring forth wickedness, okay? So they conceive trouble. So that is scheming, creating naughty plans to cause trouble in someone's life, okay? The iniquity, again, are the different aspects of them bringing forth their schemes to pass to do harm to people that it should not be done against, okay? Because really and truly, if you're making trouble in the first place, you're already in trouble. You're creating trouble, okay? So people who conceive trouble and iniquity is what is pushing out the baby. So the birth pangs that come are based on, so some people have said as they go through this process of going down the wrong path, that they slowly lose their soul. So this iniquity that's being worked here is how the person is slowly losing themselves, okay? Because instead of walking on the path of righteousness, they continue to do evil things, and that's how they're trying to bring forth falsehood. You see in this little carriage right here, or this little manger, or this little baby carriage here, is falsehood, okay? So it's like, so a wicked person is working an agenda, but nothing that they're working on is worth its weight in anything. It's like everything is being done in vain, pure vanity, okay? Let me read to you a little bit more about Psalm 10 here, okay? Because it was explaining to us a little bit more. So Psalm 10:5, his ways are always prospering. So what did I just say to you a while ago? The things that are being done here in this picture, okay? Falsehood is, so even if they're prospering under something that's false. Whatever it is not truly genuine, okay? And it's all tied into iniquity and trouble. Okay, so whatever it is, it's not worth its weight in gold, okay? Let me go back to verse 7 and describe to you a little bit more. Okay, so verse 15. Okay, on the other side of this picture here, okay, you see a man there? It says, he made a pit and dug it out, okay? So this guy's in this pit here. Right here is supposed to be the dirt that he dug out right there. Okay, so he made a pit and dug it out, okay, and has fallen into the ditch which he made. Okay, his trouble shall return upon his own head. So it seems funny that there's a pregnant woman with trouble written on her belly, because that's what was over here in the other side of the picture. Remember, it says conceives trouble. Okay, So I didn't know what to draw for the picture, so it's maybe a little bit funny, so I apologize if it doesn't make sense, but I'm actually making humor of the word and trying to get understanding at the same time. So it's a little bit funny, but we learn a little bit at the same time. So the trouble that maybe he conceived is falling upon his own head. So it's almost like somebody was adulterous or something like that. They were doing something naughty, stole somebody else's wife. I don't know what the case may be. Okay, it could be something completely, irrelevant. But whatever it was that he was up to, not only did he fall into the pit because he was trying to make someone else stumble, but whatever he created falls upon his own head. Okay, and let me continue to read. And his violent dealing shall come down on his own crown. Okay, so I didn't know another way to show it, so I think that was the accurate way to show it. Okay, so let me see if there's anything else. So the rest of the scripture goes like this: I will praise the Adonai according to his righteousness. I will sing praise to the name of the Adonai Most High. Okay, so far I don't know if this picture makes sense to you. Okay. So, like I said, forgive my artwork. I'm not an artist. I'm just a layperson. I just drew a picture, okay? So I'm trying to show you the fact that the ways of the wicked don't prosper. They don't continue to prosper. I can also actually read to you the rest of Psalm 10 to give you more of an idea of what is going on here. So let me see. So this is describing a wicked person. So these are some of the plots and plans that the wicked person might be trying to conceive here, okay? So verse 6, he has said in his heart, I shall never be moved. I shall never be in adversity. So see how he was plotting and planning somebody else's, you didn't really see that for the man. He was plotting and planning somebody else's downfall. But instead of the other person falling down, he fell in his own pit, okay? So it says here in verse 6, he has said in his heart, I shall never be moved. I shall never be in adversity. But see, that's the lie that comes from the enemy. The enemy says, go ahead, set a trap for your neighbor, set a trap for your friend, do all these evil things. You won't ever get caught. That's what the enemy says because the enemy lies, okay? But in the end, who gets into the trap? It's the person who set the trap, okay? Let me see. I don't know how much I'm going to... I can just give you demonstrations of what the person could have been doing while I'm reading Psalm 10. In verse 8 it says, he sits in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places Now I don't want to describe what he's doing because probably it's a little naughty, so I don't want to give you bad ideas. But basically he's hurting innocent people, okay? And we don't like that, okay? So in verse 11 it says, he says in his heart, Erevat has forgotten. He hides his face. He will never see it. But we know that Erevat sees it. In verse 12, arise, O Adonai, O Erevat, lift up your hand. Do not forget the humble. Why do the wicked renounce Erevat? Because the wicked has said in his heart, you will require no account. So the wicked think in their heart that they can do evil against righteous people, but Erevat will never see it. But in verse 14 it says, but you have seen it, for you observe trouble and grief, to repay it by your hand. The helpless commits himself to you. You are the helper of the fatherless. Okay? And so there's a judgment made according to what Erevat sees. So when he sees the wicked sitting there trying to dig a pit for you, okay? What does the Creator say? I'm going to break his power over your life. So in the word it says, break the arm of the wicked and the evil man, but arm is symbolic of power. So whatever it is that the wicked, that your enemies are trying to do against you, when Erevat is your defense, he will break their power over your life. Instead of you falling into the pit, they will fall into the pit, okay? So you need to pray and let Erevat be your defense. When your enemies try to stand against you, say, Adonai, you are my defense. You are my help in time of trouble. Please protect me from my enemies. Okay? So let me see. So verse 16, the Adonai is king forever and ever. And let's see. Verse 17, Adonai, you have heard the desire of the humble. You will prepare their heart. You will cause your ear to hear, to do justice to the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may oppress no more. Okay? So, what is the man of the earth, by the way? Okay? Because the other day when I did a little video description, I wrote man of the earth, but I wasn't even sure if it belonged on that piece of paper. But here you see this man right here, and he was kind of, he was labeled as wicked because he was digging a pit for someone to fall in it. He was digging a pit for a righteous person to fall in it. But who is this man of the earth? Is it truly a man? Is it a, in the beginning, Eve was deceived by a serpent. So is it truly a man or not? I'm not really sure. But, in this case, the whole point here is when you are working wickedness, okay? It is a vain attempt to do something. If you're going to do something, you might as well do it the right way. And so instead of you working vanity to bring forth falsehood, why not invest yourself in the right way? Why not try to follow Yahweh and his commandments? Therefore, there won't be negative repercussions, okay? Therefore, you won't have to hurt each other. You won't have to deceive each other. You will get sleep at night instead of conceiving wickedness. And because when you do evil, you don't have peace in your soul. So my advice to you guys is instead of bringing trouble upon your own head, pray and ask the Creator, say, Creator, can you please help me to walk in your ways? Can you please forgive me of my sins so that your sword will not come near to me nor to my household? Please help me to do the right thing. Give me wisdom, give me understanding that I might be a wise person and find favor in your sight, okay? So I don't know if this helped you in any way to understand the word. We want to walk in the ways of righteousness and not in the ways of evil, okay? Because walking in the ways of evil, it will not allow you to prosper forever, okay? Because in your heart you may say you never will be moved, nor will you see adversity. But maybe the Creator has other plans for you, okay? So let's not incite the Creator to bring justice upon our heads, okay? Thank you guys for listening. Please like, subscribe, share, or comment. Okay? Thanks. Bye.